into another episode of Create with Kendra, a place where you can be inspired, challenged, and changed. Yes, all on this channel. And today, Malik is back.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Glad to be back. Today I will be asking a question one of the viewers sent in from Instagram. Their name is E_GKR. And they ask, what are the things you could do to keep God first in your relationship?
Thank you so much for sending in this question. And this is a very valuable and valid question to ask. So something that I would start off to say, a way that you in your relationship or whoever is watching this video can keep God first, is to first, of course, love God and want God more than you want your partner.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I will definitely say, because God definitely is the head. And when people say God is first, God necessarily isn't first in every move that you do. So if you keep him first before yourself and keep God first before your partner, then he will actually be the head. And when he is the head, everything else will fall in line.
Yes, and I feel to keep him first in your relationship, you first have to strengthen your own personal relationship with God before you get into any other relationship that you want to succeed. You have to have the want and desire to seek God yourself and develop your own personal relationship by praying to him, studying his word yourself, and just living for him and doing everything unto him. Because those things will bring you a spiritual peace and just a spiritual relationship with God. One of the scriptures that I like to go off of is Matthew 6:33, where it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." So for those of you seeking for a relationship, a healthy, successful relationship, seek God first, and everything else will come into handy. Like, God will work out whatever you want him to work out.
Absolutely. And definitely be sure that before you even get in relationship with another person, that the communication and things with you and God are rocking pretty solid. And I understand that we are not faithful when God is all the time faithful. But before Malik and I got together, I was already praying and fasting and seeking God and in my word. And so when I got with him, and he was also doing the same. And so when we got together, it wasn't nothing new. You know, I wasn't introducing him into the Bible. I wasn't introducing him to prayer. It was something that we both had in our lives day to day. So when we got together, it was like we didn't miss a beat. So definitely love God, seek God, and want God more before your partner.
And that's not saying both parties have to know God and seek God, but be that individual in the party to know God and seek his word before you get into a relationship. Because you could inspire that individual by your godly life to give their all to God and influence them to start their own and develop their own relationship with God.
Now that's really interesting that you said that. That your life can inspire other people to seek God. That is totally true. There have been lots of people that I have been inspired by to seek God. And even the life that I live, that people have been inspired to seek God just by watching me. So that is totally true. I don't want y'all to confuse inspiration with dragging somebody and forcing somebody to be in a relationship with God. Like, if Malik was going to church, praying, fasting, seeking, doing all that, and I was like, I don't believe in God, I don't think it's that serious, I talk to God on Christmas, Easter, my birthday, so thank you for another year. It would be such a struggle and a pull for you to get me on the same page.
Well, I feel it would work if it were ordained by God. Like, if God were to use you, a person who has your relationship established with God already. If he were to use you to go to someone else like whether it's just a friend or if you're trying to get in a relationship or try to avoid someone, God could use you to go to that person to influence them to turn them to Christ. Even if they don't talk to God that much, He could still use you. So you just got to be open. So another tip I would suggest to this question is keeping God as your first priority in life. Even if you're in a relationship already, I feel it's good to establish God being your first priority. I was listening to a preacher, and he was talking about how he was in a relationship with this girl, and he was just so certain that she was sent by God. They had planned to get married and all that. They've been together for like 3 years. But after that 3 years, God had broke him up, and he was just praying to God, like asking, why would you break us up? And he said God simply told him he broke him up because she was a priority in his life and not God. And God was saying you would talk to her first thing in the morning, you would talk to her. Last thing at night, you would talk to her. But you never talked to me and made time for me. So I feel you really gotta get your priorities straight when it comes to being in a relationship.
That's real. That is so real. And that leads me to my next point, and it definitely does work together, not to idolize your relationship or anybody else's relationship. God is a jealous God. He wants no man, no thing before him. If you put your money before him, if you put your relationship before him, if you put your success before him, that thing becomes an idol and it takes the place of God. And it's really easy for us to, when I say us, just us as a community, as a Christian community, or people that are in relationships, or even single, everybody. It's easy to idolize relationships because you see it on Instagram, you see it on Facebook if you have Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, I don't know what else is out there, but it is just plastered everywhere. Relationship goals, matching outfits, whatever the case is, relationships are oftentimes idolized. But that is not the God. God is God, and that is it. And so just being conscious of, and sometimes I can get caught up in what we're doing, trying to make each other happy, trying to enjoy life together, and so on and so forth. So that's why it's always important to stop for a second and just remember who is first and who is leading it, because we're not leading it. God is leading it first.
I feel that's something we had to do recently in our relationship. We had both discussed that we should go on a fast from each other at least one day, to give that whole day to God and make sure that we're not idolizing each other or loving each other more than we love God. Like, we just devoted that whole day to God, and the outcome was great. It brought us revelation and just refocused our mind and our relationship back on God and making Him priority.
Yes, y'all, that fast, that fast was amazing. We did a 2-day fast. The first day, we fasted, it was 2 days, and we fasted with no food. Had no food, no social media. We watched no TV, things that gratified and glorified our flesh. We didn't even talk to each other, because if we could talk to each other, be around each other all day, every second, every minute, every hour, we definitely would, and we understand that. And we have to realize and be focused that it's not always about us, but we also need to include God in every single thing. And so it was so beautiful and refreshing.
Took my word. So another thing we do in our relationship is have devotions where we just study God's word together and then just pray to Him, pretty much.
Yeah,
that helps out a lot.
Yeah, devotions are awesome. And if you all have the Bible app, it is a brown Bible app you can get on Android and iPhone. It has devotional plans. So what it is, you can pick any topic. If it's issues dealing with anger, with patience, with love. Malik and I, we are doing a courtship one in relationships and preparing for marriage and things like that. So we pick things that are topics that we want to dive in on a deeper level, and we discuss them. We read out the plan, we read the scriptures, and it definitely gives us an aha moment. I feel like the devotions work as a mirror to where we can hold it up and we're not just looking at each other, but we're able to reflect and look at ourselves as individuals and how we treat each other and how we center God, and also how we make each other important and priority in our relationship.
Yeah, the devotions are really important in our relationship because it keeps God in the center of our relationship. And if God is not in the center of the relationship, then the whole relationship is just going to fall apart. You could think it's going well without God, but at the end of the day, it's going to soon fall apart.
Absolutely.
Keeping like devotions and just the word implemented in your relationship, I feel shows that you're putting into action to keep God first in your relationship. Because once you keep the word in your relationship, it teaches you how to love. Like 1 Corinthians, I believe 13, it shows you how to love with patience and kindness and all the other things, holding no grudges. And if you don't know how to do that by yourself and do that to yourself and with God, then you're not going to last in a relationship with someone else.
So true.
And I feel making the Bible the main element of your relationship, it leads to growth because it gives you insight and wisdom on how to keep a relationship. It shows you how to love, like I just mentioned in 1 Corinthians 13. It shows you what a wife is and how to treat your wife, what traits define a wife, like Proverbs 31. And then it just tells you to be open-minded and to take wisdom for a healthy relationship, like Proverbs 12 and 15. And I was also looking at Proverbs 11 and 14. It shows you how to seek the right counsel for your relationship, for your relationship to long forever and longevity, pretty much.
Absolutely. And that just reminded me of another scripture. Y'all, we just got some scriptures for you, so get your pen, get your pad right there. It is Ecclesiastes 4 and 12. A person stands alone and can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. 3 are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. So we can stand back to back and conquer and kill the game, but a 3-strand cord is not easily broken. So that would be 1, 2, and 3. And so I just want to encourage you all, if you are seeking a relationship, seek God first. And God will give you whoever you need and want in your life. But the need is going to be first. That'll be the first thing met. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified on new videos when I upload them. If you have any questions or topics of discussion that you would like to hear on this channel, you are more than welcome to send them in on Instagram or comment down below. My Instagram handle is _Kendra Create. And if you want to follow and keep up with Malik, what's your Instagram?
If you guys have not followed me from the last video, follow me. Stay in the gang. At Redefine Amos.
You so
follow
good.
me.
All right, y'all. Until next time. Be blessed.